again, folks. Welcome back to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. This is episode number 39, and we're returning to Strat-O-Matic Baseball for the Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament. This is game number 7, which is going to match up the 1961 Cincinnati Reds traveling to Candlestick Park to take on the current Kings of the Hill, the 1962 San Francisco Giants. And let's take a quick look at the status of the Hill right now. Of course, the Giants are the current Kings, having defeated the previously 4-0 Philadelphia Phillies with some late inning theatrics in the previous game, game number 6. They're going to face the Reds today, and lying in wait are the 1954 Cleveland Indians, and they're just waiting to see if they're going to be traveling to San Francisco or Cincinnati. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Cincinnati Reds, the 1961 Cincinnati Reds, Don Blasingame leads off at second base. Eddie Casco's the shortstop. He bats second. Vada Pinson, center field. He bats third. Frank Robinson's in right field. He's batting fourth. Wally Post is in left field. He bats fifth. Gene Freese is the third baseman. He's batting sixth. Gordy Coleman is at first base. He bats seventh. John Edwards is the catcher. He's batting eighth. And batting ninth in pitching is Joey J. He was 21-10 with a 3.53 ERA and 247 innings pitched in 1961. He is a number 1 hitting pitcher, so we'll replace his card with the number 1 pitcher hitting card. Now for the current King of the Hill and home team Giants, the 1962 Giants. Leading off in left field is Harvey Kuhn. Chuck Hiller's the second baseman. He bats second. Felipe Alou is in right field. He bats third. Willie Mays is in center. He's batting fourth. Orlando Cepeda is at first base. He's batting fifth. Jim Davenport's at third. He's batting sixth. Batting seventh, Tom Haller, the catcher. Batting eighth, Ernie Bowman playing shortstop today due to the injury last game of Jose Pagan. He will be available. That is Pagan. He will be available for the next game that the Giants play. And batting ninth and pitching for the Giants is Juan Marichal. He was 18-11 with a 3.35 ERA with 263 innings pitched in 1962. He is a number 4 hitting pitcher, so we will replace his card with the number 4 pitching hitter card. All right. So Marichal finishes his warm-up tosses. Don Blasingame steps up to the plate, and we are underway with game number 7. It is a 3-7, and a 3-7 is a ground ball to third base. That goes to Davenport. Over to Cepeda for out number 1. And there's one away. Here's Eddie Casco, shortstop. And we have a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a triple on a 1-5, single on a 6-20, and that is a 1-out triple for Eddie Casco. So Casco is going to be on third with 1 away, and Vada Pinson coming up to bat. Infield's in for the Giants. And we have a 5-4, and a 5-4 is a catcher's card X. Haller is a 3. So we'll take a look at the catcher's card. And we roll a 17. 17 is a wild pitch followed by a foul out. So, oh boy. Marichal throws a wild pitch, allows Casco to score. Scores on a wild pitch. And Pinson then fouls out to the catcher, who is Haller. All right, so there's 2 away, but the Reds are on the board and lead 1-0. So 2 outs, nobody on for Frank Robinson. We have a 1-7, and a 1-7 is a ground ball to third base. That's Davenport over to Cepeda for out number 3. But on Pinson's wild pitch, the Reds score 1, and after 1/2 inning of play, it's the Reds 1 and the Giants coming up to bat. Joey J comes out to the mound. He's going to face Harvey Kuhn, Hiller, and Felipe Alou. We have a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a leadoff walk for Harvey Kuhn. So Kuhn's on first base with 1 out, and I need to give Marichal 2 fatigue points. 1 for the inning, 1 for the run. All right, so Harvey Kuhn's on first base with nobody out. And here's Chuck Hiller. And that's a 3-6, and a 3-6 is a ground ball to third base A. And that is going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Kuhn is forced at second. Hiller is thrown out at first. And there are 2 away. Felipe Alou, 2 outs, nobody on. And we have a 5-6. And a 5-6 is a fly ball to center field. Vada Pinson's under that, makes the catch for out number 3. So the Giants don't score in the bottom of the first, and after 1 inning of play, it's the Reds 1 and the Giants nothing. Joey J gets 1 fatigue point, and Juan Marichal is going to face Post, Freeze, and Coleman. And we have a 2-8, and a 2-8 is a strikeout. There's the first strikeout for Marichal, and there's 1 away here in the top of the second. First baseman Gordy Coleman have a 2-9, and a 2-9 is a home run on a 1-12. Oh, he rolls a 14, and that's going to be a 1-out double. So the Reds have a man in scoring position again. Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute. I accidentally passed. The cards were sticking together. So we rolled a 2-9. It was a home run on a 1-19 and a double on a 20. So that is a home run for Freeze. I apologize for that. The cards had stuck together, and the Reds are now up 2-0. So there's 1 out, nobody on for Gordy Coleman. All right, that's a 5-8. And a 5-8 is a fly ball to right field. Felipe Alou is under that, makes the catch for out number 2. Here's John Edwards, the Reds catcher. And that's a 1-7, and a 1-7 is a line out to first baseman Orlando Cepeda for out number 3. But the Reds score another run on Gene Freeze's solo shot, and after 1.5 innings of play, it's the Reds 2 and the Giants nothing. Marichal gets 2 more fatigue points. He's up to 4. Jay comes back out. Here's Willie Mays. And that is a 2-7. And a 2-7 is a home run on a 1-2. He rolls a 3. He almost takes it out of the park, but it is a leadoff double for Willie Mays. So Mays is on second with nobody out. And Orlando Cepeda. That is a 6-5. And a 6-5 is a pop out to first base. Coleman has that. Makes the catch. Mays holds at second, and there's 1 away. Jim Davenport, Giants third baseman, with Mays on second and 1 out. We have a 3-5, and a 3-5 is a fly ball to center field. Veda Pinson has that for out number 2. And Mays still holds at second. Here's Tom Haller, Giants catcher. It's a 310, and a 310 is a double on a 1-9. This is going to score Mays single on a 10-20 with a 2-base advance. So Haller singles, drives in Willie Mays. Giants are on the board. And the score is now 2-1 in favor of the Reds. Here's Ernie Bowman starting at shortstop today for the Giants, with Haller on first and 2 away. And that's a 6-6, and a 6-6 is a single. Okay. So Ernie Bowman singles. There are 2 outs, and Haller is a 1-15. With 2 outs, he becomes a 1-17. So he's going to try for third, and he's going to make it. So we have runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Juan Marichal coming up to bat. Reds lead 2-1. First and third for the Giants with 2 outs. We have a 3-9, and a 3-9 is a single with 2-base advance. That's going to drive in Haller, and the score is tied. And there's still runners on the corners with 2 outs, and we're back to the top of the order, and Harvey Kuhn, who walked in the first inning, and that's a 2-11, and the 2-11 is a fly ball to left field. Wally Post is under that, makes the catch for out number 3. But the Giants scored 2 runs, and after 2 innings of play, we're tied at 2. And let's see, Jay gets 3 endurance points. He's also up to 4. Juan Marichal comes back out. He's going to face his counterpart, Joey J, and then back to the top of the order for the Reds. That's a 3-6, and a 3-6 is a ground ball to shortstop Bowman, and he tosses over to Orlando Cepeda for out number 1. 6-3, and there's 1 away. Back to the top of the order, and Don Blasingame, who grounded out in the first inning. That is a 2-2 line out first base into many outs as possible. And that's going to be a line out to Orlando Cepeda for out number 2. And here's Eddie Casco, Red shortstop. 2 out, nobody on. We have a 2-2, and a 2-2 is another line out. This one's the third base into as many outs as possible, but we only need 1 at this point. And that's Davenport. He snags that one for out number 3. And the Reds go 1-2-3 in the top of the third, and after 2.5, we are tied at 2. Joey J back out. So Juan Marichal gets his 5th endurance point, or fatigue point, however you want to look at it. All right, Joey J's out here. He's going to face Hiller, Alou, and Mays. Bottom of the third. We have a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a leadoff walk for Chuck Hiller. So Hiller's on first with nobody out. He's a 1-15. And Edwards is a 2. He's a stealing C. And it's a 1-11. No, we're going to hold him there. So Hiller's on first base with the leadoff walk, nobody out, and Felipe Alou. And that's a 5-9, and a 5-9 is a ground ball to second base C. The batter is out at first, and Hiller advances 1 base. So that's a 4-3 put out for Alou for the first out, and Hiller advances to second. So Hiller's on second with 1 out, and Willie Mays. that is a 4-8, and a 4-8 is a ground ball to second base X. Red second baseman is Don Blasingame. He's a 3. And we roll a 6 on a 3. And that is an out. Runner on first is out, going to second, providing there is one completion, a double play. Other runners advance one base. So that ground ball by Willie Mays went to second base, so that's going to be a 4-3 put out for out number 2, and Hiller advances to third. So Hiller's on third with 2 outs, and Orlando Cepeda, who lined out to first base his first time up. We have a 3-10, and a 3-10 is a ground ball to third base. And that's Gene Freeze. Over to Coleman for out number 3. 5-3. Giants threaten but do not score. And after 3 innings of play, we're tied at 2. And Jay gets another endurance point. Both pitchers are now at 5. Juan Marichal comes out here in the top of the 4th. It's going to be Pinson, Robinson, and Post for the Reds. We have a 4-10, and a 4-10 is a leadoff walk. So Pinson draws the leadoff walk, and he's a stealing A. So 1-15, with Hallard being a 3. We're going to play conservative with Pinson, with Frank Robinson up to bat. Okay, here we go. Marichal versus Frank Robinson. We have a 4-10, and a 4-10 is another walk. Back-to-back walks from Marichal, and it's first and second with nobody out for the Reds and Wally Post. And that's a 5-5, and a 5-5 is a strikeout. That's the second strikeout for Marichal, and there's one away. Brings up Gene Freeze. That card was sticking again. I have to be careful about that. All right, we have a 3-6, and a 3-6 is a single on a 1-2. But he rolls a 9, and that is a line out to shortstop. And that's Bowman for out number 2. Runners hold. First and second with 2 away, and Gordy Coleman. And that's a 2-8, and a 2-8 is way back deep to center field. Willie Mays is back to the wall. He watches it go over his head for a 2-out, 3-run home run for Gordy Coleman, scoring both Pinson and Robinson along with himself. And now the Reds are up 5-2. All right, so that's 3 endurance points for Marichal. He is up to 8. 2-out home run puts the Reds up 5-2. And here's John Edwards, the Reds catcher. That's a 5-10, and a 5-10 is a fly ball to center field X. Willie Mays is in center field. He is a 1. And we roll an 11 on the 1, and that is a fly out to center field. Willie Mays is under that, makes the catch for out number 3. But the Reds score 3 runs on Gordy Coleman's shot, and after 3.5 innings of play, it's the Reds 5 and the Giants 3. Marichal gets another endurance point for the inning. That takes him up to 9. Here's Joey J. He's got Davenport, Howler, and Bowman. And that is a 5-5, and a 5-5 is a pop out to shortstop. Casco is under that, makes the catch, and there's one away. Tom Howler, Giants catcher. That's a 4-8. And a 4-8 is a ground ball to second base X. Don Blasingame is a 3. And we roll a 9. And that is a ground out, so it's Blasingame over to Coleman for out number 1. Or excuse me, out number 2. So that's a 4-3. And there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Ernie Bowman, Giants shortstop. That is a 3-3. And a 3-3 is a fly ball to center field. Veda Pinson's under that, makes the catch. And the Giants go 1-2-3 here in the 4th. So after 4 innings of play, it's the Reds 5 and the Giants 2. Joey J picks up his 6th endurance point. And here's Marshall. He's going to face Joey J. And back to the top of the order with Don Blasingame, followed by Eddie Casco. All right, so that's a 6-7. And a 6-7 is a ground ball to second base X. And Hiller is a 3. And we roll a 1. And that is a leadoff single for Joey J. So man on first with nobody out, back to the top of the order in Don Blasingame. And that's a 4-3, and a 4-3 is a ground ball to the pitcher X. Now Marichal is a 2. All pitchers in this basic game are 2s. And that's a 17. And 2-17 is an out. Runner on first is out going to second. So that is going to be a 1-6-3 double play. And there are 2 away. Joey J is forced at second. And here we have Eddie Casco with 2 outs. And that's a 2-12, and a 2-12 is a fly ball to right field. Felipe Alou is under that, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Reds do not score in the top of the 5th. After 4.5 innings of play, it's the Reds 5 and the Giants 2. Marichal gets another endurance point. That puts him at 10. He is approaching fatigue, so we are going to substitute a pinch hitter for him. And that's going to be Willie McCovey. And the Giants are going to get some work in the bullpen going. And it's going to be Stu Miller. He's going to start warming up for the Giants. Actually, no, it's not going to be Miller. It's going to be Bob Bolin. Giants can get a little bit more mileage out of him. All right, so it's going to be McCovey pinch hitting. Pinch hit here in the bottom of the 5th. And Joey J still on the mound for the Reds. And that is a 5-2. And a 5-2 is a ground ball to first base. And that's Coleman. He takes that unassisted for out number 1. Back to the top of the order for the Giants. and Harvey Kuhn. That's a 5-6. And a 5-6 is a fly ball to center field. Veda Pinson's underneath that and makes the catch for out number 2. Here's Chuck Hiller, Giants second baseman. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's a 6-10. And the 6-10 is a single on a 1-19. And he rolls a 19. That's a 2-out single for Chuck Hiller. And he's on first with 2 outs. And Philippe Ballou. It's a 3-7. And a 3-7 is a home run on a 1-6. But it's a 14. It's a long double that's going to move Hiller to third base. And it's second and third with 2 outs for the Giants. And Willie Mays coming up to bat. And that's a 1-6. And a 1-6 is a ground ball to shortstop. And that's going to be Eddie Casco over to Coleman for out number 3. And Joey James gets out of the jam. So the Giants leave a couple runners stranded in the bottom of 5th, and after 5 innings of play, it's the Reds 5 and the Giants 2. Okay, the new pitcher for the Giants is now Bob Bolin. And he is a hitting 3 pitcher. So we'll get that card ready if he happens to get an at-bat. But he's going to be facing Veda Pinson, Frank Robinson, and Eddie Post. All right, so we got Bolin. And Bolin's pitching here. The top of the 6th. And he's going to face Veda Pinson. All right, top of the 6th. Reds lead 5-2. And that's a 5-8. And a 5-8 is a triple on a 1-4. And it's not a triple. It is a single. So a leadoff single for Veda Pinson. With Frank Robinson coming up. Man on first, nobody out, Frank Robinson. It's a 6-10. And a 6-10 is a double on a 1-3. A single with 2 base advance on a 4-20. We roll a 15. So back-to-back singles have runners on the corners with nobody out. And the Giants are bringing the infield in. First and third, nobody out for Wally Post. And that's a 3-9. And a 3-9 is a walk. Things not going well for Bolin. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Giants are keeping the infield in for Gene Freese. Gene Freese, who already homered in this game. And that's a 4-6. And a 4-6 is a fly ball to center field. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly. It's going to score Pinson. So Willie Mays makes the catch. Pinson tags up and scores easily. And Robinson and Post hold. And the score is now 6-3. Bolin gets his first fatigue point. So it's first and second with 1 out for Gordy Coleman. And that's a 1-5. And a 1-5 is a single with a 2 base advance. That's going to score another run. Reds are lighting it up. And it's first and third with 1 out. John Edwards coming to bat. The Giants are keeping the infield in, and that's a 1-7. And a 1-7 is a line out to first base. Orlando Cepeda has that. Runners will hold. That's out number 2. Infield's going to go back. And it's first and third with... I have to give Bolin another endurance point. It's first and third with 2 outs for Joey J. And that's a 5-8, and a 5-8 is a triple on a 1-4 and a single on a 5-20. It is a single with a 2-base advance. Jay gets an RBI. Coleman moves to third, and Post scores. And another endurance point for Bolin. And the score is now 8-2. This one's slipping away from the Giants. All right, it's first and third with 2 outs. And Don Blasingame. We have a 4-12, and a 4-12 is a fly ball to left field. Harvey Kuhn's under that, makes the catch, and the side is retired. But not until the the Reds score 3 more runs. And after 5.5 innings of play, it's the Reds 8 and the Giants 2. Bolin gets another endurance point. He's up to 4. He only has 7 before he's fatigued as a starter reliever. But Joey J's coming back out with a 6-run lead, and he's going to face Cepeda, Davenport, and Haller. And that is a 6-9, and a 6-9 is a leadoff walk. It's been quite a few leadoff walks in this game. All right, Cepeda's on first base. Nobody out. Jim Davenport. And that is a 6-9, which is another walk. I marked that as a hit. That is not correct. That's a walk. And back-to-back walks by Joey J. Maybe he's starting to get tired. First and second with nobody out, and Tom Haller. We have a 5-10, and a 5-10 is a catcher's card X. And Edwards is a 2, and that's an 11. It's a pass ball, which allows a runner to advance 1 base, and it's followed by a foul out. So that's going to make it second and third. Haller fouls out to the catcher for out number 1. So it's second and third with 1 out. Ernie Bowman coming up to bat. And the Reds are going to play the infield at normal depth. That is a 6-10, and a 6-10 is a single on a 1-19 with a 1-base advance. That's going to score a run. So Bowman singles. Davenport moves to third. Cepeda scores, and it's 8-3. And Jay gets another endurance point, so he is up to 7. So it's first and third with 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Harvey Kuhn. That's a 2-5, and a 2-5 is a line out to third base. Gene Freese has that. Oh, no. Wait a minute. That is not right. Forgot to insert the pitcher card for Bolin. He is a 3. It's not Harvey Kuhn. And that was a 2-5, and a 2-5 is a strikeout. I apologize for that. So that's Bolin batting now. And he strikes out for out number 2. Now it's Harvey Kuhn. First and third with 2 outs. And I probably should have pinch hit for, well, that's my mistake. I should have pinch hit for him. But it's too late now. Okay. That's a 4-5, and a 4-5 is a triple on a 1-4, a double on a 5-20. That's a double on a 19. So that's a 2-out double for Harvey Kuhn. And that's going to drive in Davenport. And Bowman moves to third. We have to look at Bowman's running. He's a 1-15 with 2 outs. He becomes a 1-17. So he's getting waved home. And he is going to score. Giants trying to come back here. That's 2 RBIs. And it's now 8-5. And Jay is up to 9 endurance points. Chuck Hiller's going to be coming up to bat. And The Reds are going to get some action in their bullpen. And it's going to be Ken Johnson. He's going to start warming up for the Reds. So there are 2 outs and a man on second, and the score is 8-5 in favor of the Reds. And that's a 2-5, and a 2-5 is a fly ball to center field. Vada Pinson's under that, makes the catch. Hiller is retired, and so are the Giants. But they do score 3 runs. And after 6 innings of play, it is the Reds 8 and the Giants 5. And Jay gets another endurance point. He is up to 9. Boland's coming back out. And he's going to face Eddie Casco, Vada Pinson, and Frank Robinson here in the 7th. Score is 8-5 in favor of the Reds. We have a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a fly ball to center field. Willie Mays is under that and makes the catch for out number 1. Vada Pinson, Red center fielder. That's a 3-3, and a 3-3 is a pop out to second baseman Hiller for out number 2. So 2 away. No one on base for Frank Robinson. Reds lead 8-5. That's a 2-7, and a 2-7 is a triple on a 1-6, and he hits a 2-out triple. Frank Robinson showing some wheels here, and a 2-out triple. Man on third with 2 away for Wally Post. That's a 4-5, and a 4-5 is a ground ball to second base. That's Hiller over to Cepeda for out number 3. Reds threaten but do not score. And after 6.5 innings of play, it's the Reds 8 and the Giants 5. Boland gets another endurance point. He's up to 5. Joey J is coming back out. Ken Johnson will be ready if needed. And he's got Felipe Alou, Willie Mays, and Orlando Cepeda. So that's a 1-4, and a 1-4 is a ground ball to shortstop. That's Casco over to Coleman for out number 1. 6-3, and there's 1 away. Here's Willie Mays. That's a 1-9, and a 1-9 is a fly ball to center field. Vada Pinson's under that, makes the catch for out number 2. Here's Orlando Cepeda. It's a 1-8, and a 1-8 is a home run on a 1-9, and that's deep, back, over the wall, out of here. 2-out solo shot for Orlando Cepeda, and the score is now 8-6. Jay gets another endurance point. He's going to stay in, try to get out of this inning. Nobody on 2 outs for Jim Davenport, and that's a 3-6. And the 3-6 is a ground ball to third base. Gene Freeze over to Coleman for out number 3. But the Giants do score another run on Orlando Cepeda's solo shot. And after 7 innings of play, it's the Reds 8 and the Giants 6. Joey J does get his 11th endurance point. So he is fatigued and will be done for the day when the Reds come back out on the field. But for now, it's Boland, facing Gene Freeze, Coleman, and Edwards. And that's a 6-4. And a 6-4 is a fly ball to center field. Willie Mays is underneath that. Makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Gordy Coleman. That's a 1-9, and a 1-9 is a fly ball to center field. Willie Mays is under that one as well and makes the catch for out number 2. John Edwards. And that is a 4-5, and a 4-5 is a ground ball to second base. That's Hiller over to Cepeda for out number 3. And the Reds go quietly in the top of the 8th, and after 7.5 innings, it's the Reds 8 and the Giants 6. Okay, Joey Jay's day is finished, and I think we're going to do a double switch here. Jay's the first batter up in the top of the 9th for the Reds. So Ken Johnson is going to come out and pitch, but he's going to bat in the 8th spot, and Jerry Zimmerman is going to enter the game and catch, and he'll bat in the 9th spot. So that's Zimmerman in the 9th spot, catching. And Johnson is going to bat in the 8th spot. And he's going to be pitching. So that becomes a 1. That becomes a 2. He's a 2. And Zimmerman is also a 2. All right, so we're good to go there. So Zimmerman will be catching now for the Giants and batting 9th. So I'm going to insert him, I should say, into the Reds lineup. Okay, so we got Ken Johnson pitching for the Reds here in the bottom of the 8th, and it's going to be Tom Haller, Bowman, and the pitcher spot for the Giants. All right, so here's a 5-8 and a 5-8. It's a pop out to third baseman. Gene Freeze makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Here's Ernie Bowman, shortstop for the Giants. That's a 4-5, and a 4-5 is a strikeout. First strikeout for Ken Johnson, and there's 2 away. And of course, we're going to have a pinch hitter for Bolin, and that's going to be Matty Alou. So it's Matty Alou. Pinch hit, bottom of the 8th. That's right here. All right, he's going to face Ken Johnson. And that's a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a pop out to second base. Don Blasingame's underneath that, makes the catch for out number 3. So, Giants do not score in the bottom of the 8th, and after 8 innings of play, it's the Reds 8 and the Giants 6. Go to the top of the 9th. It's going to be the new catcher, Jerry Zimmerman. And now pitching for the Giants is Stu Miller. All right, so I'm going to write that down. Or no, Stu Miller's not pitching. No, I did that double switch to keep him in the game. Oh, goodness. All right, so anyway, Jerry Zimmerman. It's going to be Jerry Zimmerman, and back to the top of the order, Don Blasingame and Eddie Casco. All right, so we got a 2-9, and a 2-9 is fly ball to center field. Willie Mays is underneath that, makes the catch. for out number 1. Top of the order in Don Blasingame. That's a 5-10, and a 5-10 is a deep fly ball to right field. Felipe Alou goes back. It's over his head. It's out of here. Gone. Home run for Don Blasingame. And the Reds get one of those runs back. And it's now 9-6. Bowling gets another endurance point. He's up to 6. And here's Eddie Casco. I marked that in the wrong place. Oh my goodness, Bob. Okay, so we got to remember to take care of that. All right, here's Eddie Casco. And that's a 3-11, and a 3-11 is a ground ball to third base. That's going to be a put out 5-3 for out number 2. That was Davenport over to Cepeda. And here's Veda Pinson. 2 out, nobody on. And that is a 6-5. And a 6-5 is a walk. So Veda Pinson draws a 2-out walk. He's on first with 2 outs for Frank Robinson. The Reds are going to... No, you know what? The Reds are going to stick with Ken Johnson. He only has 1 endurance point. And yeah, we're going to stick with him. All right, so there's a man on first with 2 outs for Frank Robinson. And that's a 5-7, and a 5-7 is a strikeout. So Robinson strikes out. Bolin gets him to get the 3rd out. Picks up another endurance point, and he's out of them. The Giants, or excuse me, the Reds score another run and now lead 9-6. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Giants to stay on top of the hill. And it's going to be the top of the order for them. Harvey Kuhn, Hiller, and Felipe Alou. And here's a 4-7, and a 4-7 is a single on a 1-8. But he rolls an 11. And that's a line out to first baseman Coleman. And he takes that. Well, it's a line out, so he doesn't have to take it unassisted. So that's out number 1. That is not a home run. That is a line out to 3. Okay, 1 away for Chuck Hiller. And that is a 5-8, and a 5-8 is a pop out to third base. Gene Freeze is under that for out number 2. Felipe Alou's the last chance for the Giants to keep this game going. That's a 1-9, and a 1-9 is a single. 2-out single for Felipe Alou. So he's on base, and Willie Mays coming up to bat. The Giants are down 9-6. So Mays can't do it himself. He's going to need some help down the road if this goes any further. And that's a 4-3, and that's a catcher's card X. Now, Zimmerman is a 2 for the Reds, and he rolls a 9. And that is a pop out. So Mays pops out for out number 3. And we're going to say that was to, we'll just say that went to second baseman. Don Blasingame. Giants do not score in the bottom of the 9th, and they fall. After taking down the 4-0 Philadelphia Phillies, they fall to the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 9-5. See if I can get some totals for you really quick. The Reds scored 9 runs on 8 hits. They did not commit any errors. Excuse me. The Giants scored 5 runs on seven hits and no errors. The winning pitcher was Joey J, and the loss goes to Juan Marichal. He gets the loss. Or does he get the loss? Let me see. Yes, he does. Okay. So, or wait a minute, does he? 1, 2. Bowling came in the 6th. Well, I'll figure that out later, but I do think Marichal gets the loss. Joey J gets the win, so that's game number 7 in the books for the Strat-O-Matic Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament. We have a new King of the Hill, the 1961 Cincinnati Reds, and the 1954 Cleveland Indians will be traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Reds in game number 8. If you stuck around through this whole game, I know I made a couple mistakes, but you know, that's how it is on this channel. You get warts and all. I'm still having fun doing this, and if you did stick around, I appreciate you doing so. But that's going to do it for this episode of Max's Cards and Dice Dugout, and until next time, take care.